they look different. You could tell their chemistry is better on the ice. I was actually driving home last night, so thank you to the NHL app for letting me listen to the game because it was not on the radio because of the stupid Yankees game. But I saw the clips of the celebration afterwards, and you could just tell like the chemistry is there, and I think that's what's really helping too. Because I don't think we really had that type of chemistry in a very, very long time with our team.
I think I know what's fun for me. It's like they are young, and I feel like the Devils as a whole, everything got younger in the last year, and
yeah,
I appreciate that. And now I understand what a couple of years ago when we were talking about Ray Shero with Mike a couple of years back, and he even said, believe in him when he came over to New Jersey. And now I get it. Now I fucking get it. Even if I don't even care if they end up maybe not making the playoffs this year. They don't make the playoffs this year, but they have one hell of a season. That's a freaking step in the right direction compared to last year's shitfest. I mean, let's be honest here, Because last year was such a shitfest. Am I right, Mike?
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, if they keep up the pace they're at, it wouldn't surprise me they get in, or if at least get in as like a wild card. I mean, a lot of the East is a little weird to start the season this year, but I don't know. They've just been playing like fantastically well. And some of the goals they've been scoring, like it's been like crisp passing. It's not just, and they're actually shooting on the power play a little bit here and there. That's a little different.
And at the end of the day, they won on a shootout. They won a shootout, which is also a big deal. They beat Tampa Bay. And by the way, can I say they could have lost the game versus Tampa, but they got a point out of it anyway, and it would have still been an accomplishment because Tampa's a phenomenal team. But they beat Tampa, and that's insane. They not only were they able to keep up with this team, they actually beat it. That's insane to me. So, by the way, Sal, did you happen to watch the Rangers Devils game?
You know what? I did not.
Well, apparently, if you were watching the game, there was a nice group of like 30-something Devils fans in a section up at the top of the Garden. And
I did see a picture of that, yeah.
Well, that's from the Devil's Daily crew over at Devil's Insider Radio. They bought a block of tickets, and they took over the area, and they ended up being the loudest people in the building.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Devil's Pride right there. It was amazing that they were talking about it on their show on Tuesday morning. It was on Monday morning. It was fantastic. So, speaking of weirdness, so... was our last talk? Hockey season hadn't started yet when we last talked. And I'm sitting watching opening weekend. And I'm watching an opening ceremony about a cup celebration, and I'm texting back and forth with Mr. Diamond over here. And then, well, the fun part was we're watching the ceremony, and then he sends me a picture of his girlfriend sleeping on him, which is hysterical.
Yeah, she was conked out.
Fell asleep during a ceremony, which I thought was funny. But what's going on with your Penguins?
I mean, we're winning. We're not winning pretty. They just can't keep the puck out of their own net. That's basically it. They're like one of the only teams in a current playoff position that has a negative goals for, goals against. They just can't seem to keep the puck out of their own net. I mean, luckily they got the offense to keep up with it, but it's not really a way to go through the season.
It's true. It's interesting. You're right. The Eastern Conference is weird because one would think we'd have like a stronger sense of what's going on, and outside of like Tampa Bay, there really isn't much. And Ovechkin deciding, I feel like playing hockey this year and proving why I should be in the Olympics.
Yeah, but no one else on Washington is.
Yeah, unfortunately. But Ovechkin's just saying, look, I can score goals. Send me to the Olympics anyway. That's pretty much what he's doing. But it doesn't help when your defense doesn't show up and you blow five. And the only win you have is against the Devils. It's one of the only wins you got because they can't keep leads. They can't keep a lead to save their lives.
Yeah, And who even knows if they wind up winning that game? If it wasn't for that double minor, the Devils were coming back. It was 3-1. The Devils scored 3-2, and then they wound up getting the double minor that Washington scores twice on.
It's true.
No double minor. Who knows what happens?
It's very, very, very true. Did we lose Sal?
No, I'm here. I have to text somebody really quick.
That's
They're
fine.
trying to call me
I see a ceiling, and I'm making sure you're still there. So
Yeah, no, I need two hands.
that's
It's
fine.
a nice ceiling.
Anyway. At least it's not like last show where we're watching Scott. Wasn't like last show we're watching Scotty go to work right in the middle of our show. Our last show. I can say that because Scotty's on a plane to San Francisco listening to us. So hi, Scotty.
Hello.
So, by the way, yesterday I got home from work, and I don't know if my video's working because I'm frozen on my end, so I'm not even sure if it's working on you guys' end. But I got myself a Las Vegas Golden Knights puck from my collection.
Nice.
And it's really, really cool.
Yay.
Took advantage of an NHL shop no shipping sale going on opening weekend.
Nice.
I picked up myself a puck. And can I say that my favorite thing right now on Twitter, my favorite thing in the entire world on Twitter, that's not Eric Rowan, is the Vegas Golden Knights. They are my favorite social media account right now, period.
They're fun.
They are, and Mike, I know you're not on Twitter, but the Golden Knights, you should get a Twitter account just to follow the Golden Knights. For no other reason.
Forget my own team. Let's just follow the new one.
No, you don't understand.
Follow them.
You don't understand. They are a proud member of. I'm on their Twitter page right now, and they are a proud member of the league's original 31 teams. This is what they do. This is what they do. I guess it's entertaining as hell. I don't know who runs their Twitter account, but it's some of the funniest shit I ever. Okay, for real. They put up the fact that they won last night, and then they're putting song lyrics up to songs and celebrating in song lyrics on their Twitter page. I was sending good.
So they win the internet and on the ice.
Yeah, pretty much. They're 5-1 as well, but they're 5-1 of entertaining value because I'm sorry, I'm just reading this now. It says here, we're not really thrilled about heading into overtime. Although overtime, everyone's guaranteed a participation trophy.
Participation point.
I thought that was funny. This stuff like this, I say this all the time because I follow them because they're entertaining. It's fucking entertaining.
I started following them because it's entertaining.
Yeah. And by the way, for those who didn't get the Eric Rowan joke, go on Twitter and find him too.
Yes.
What do you think about the Vegas Golden Knights, guys? This team, a first time a team has ever gone 5-1 as an expansion team, which is unreal.
It's insane, absolutely insane.
I don't know what to say.
It's crazy.
Expansion team, you think they're gonna suck?
Yeah, like.
Yeah, it's crazy. You think expansion team they're gonna suck, but I mean they've got some like decent defensemen because teams weren't able to block a lot of their defensemen from leaving. They have a goalie who's a proven winner. I
can tell.
A former 40 goal scorer in Neil, so I mean they've got players. They've got players to win. It's kind of weird because they're also in the West, and the West is usually a tough conference to win in, and yet. They act like they've been there all along.
They're cocky sons of bitches for a team that's. I'm currently looking at the standings right now, and it's funny because you have the Golden Knights at 5-1, which is ridiculous. The Devils and the Blue Jackets are 5-1, and I think it's funny. And then you have Tampa Bay, which is 5-1-1, and Toronto's 5-1. It's just a weird start to this season. In general,
one of these things is not like the other.
Well, actually, hang on.
Some of these teams.
Hang on a second. The Kings are 4-0-1. By the way, the Kings actually don't have a regulation loss yet this year. So there you go. But I have to admit, I am impressed. I am impressed by the Knights. I did never expected them to do what they're doing, and to do it like you're right, Mike. Like we've been here the whole time. I know we've only been around for 6 games, but we've been here forever. You just weren't paying attention.
31.
Original 31. No, there was a tweet. I think they beat Boston, and they're like, original 31 team beats original 6 team. Entertainment value at its own right. It's pure entertainment value this year. Again, another team, they can, by the way, I just got a, this is off, Mike. I just got an apology memo from Deb, and the issues are on our end. She apologized to us.
Oh.
No.
Which is weird. I apologized to her. And Mary apologized to her. But she apparently...
No.
Oh, she did? Well, she said, well, she'll cash in a rain check down the road.
Okay.
But apparently, her house is 70 miles away from the Rock. So...
Oh, is it?
Yeah, she has to drive in morning rush hour to get to practice.
Oh.
Maybe we can cash in when we do playoff talk when we make the playoffs finally.
Ooh. Well, maybe we could do our all-star thing because there's no traveling involved, and we can figure that out then. That works. Because we don't have an Olympic break this year, we can do something for the all-star weekend.
Wait, where's the all-star game going to be this year?
That's a question I don't have the answer to. I'll look it up real fast.
Did they announce that already?
Yeah, they have to have. I think they announced it last season. I'm looking it up real quickly because
I remember it's definitely not in Vegas because I thought that was kind of weird.
I think they said they're going to try that an extra. I think they didn't want to do it in their first year, which I understand. Which I'm surprised.
It's not Tampa, is it? I don't think.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm literally looking it up.
Nashville, right, last year?
And Nashville was a phenomenal home for it. You know, Nashville was a phenomenal home. Nashville last year was a phenomenal home for everything. So they showed they were a hockey city on so many levels last year.
Yeah.
The only thing it wasn't the home for was the Cup.
Ooh. By the way, this correction here. Last year was in Los Angeles. The year before that was in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
This year is in Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
You were right. It is in Tampa this year.
I thought I heard that, but I wasn't completely sure.
So, by the way, we're back. I'm going to delete that email, but we're back out of the air here. But I'm looking at this, and it's fairly funny when you look at the All-Star stuff on Wikipedia. Because it's like, okay, 60th All-Star game was the last year we had the draft thing. And it's in Ryan Johansson, MVP. And then you have the following year in Nashville with that ridiculous year, and then John Scott, no team. We forget that happened. We're all gonna forget that happened. So
never forgot John Scott.
What a weird year that was. And we discussed it on here. We've been doing this for so long that we discussed the John Scott situation on this show for like weeks.
Let him play.
Let him play. Let him play. So, all right. Well, I really wanted to check out the hockey world. We were, for those listening, we were supposed to have Deb Placey on here. We had a bunch of tech issues. We will have her on a later show down the road. Mike,
I wanted to get yelled at today.
Well, you know what? We'll have to do that in the future. Mike, thank you so much for wasting your time with us, because I know you were waiting for us for like 25 minutes before we actually got on the air to do this.
That's all right. I'll be wasting the rest of the day on my own.
You guys day off?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. You go do that, and we will talk to you later.
All right. Thank you guys for having me on.
Anytime.
Bye, Mike.
Later, guys.
Later. I didn't hit it up. Okay. I just re-clicked on my video because for some reason I wasn't frozen on mine. There we go. All fixed. So, all right. Now that we let Mike go, I'm going to be honest with some people. There's no What Did I Miss segment this week, mainly because there wasn't a whole lot of positive news. I really didn't feel like having a conversation about sexual harassment in the workplace in this show. I have no time for that on this show. We try to keep things happy. And so instead, last week, and apparently, by the way, Sal, I realized I watch way too much CW programming for one person, for one person.
Actually.
For those listening, I watch 5 CW shows. Well, 4 CW shows. 4 CW shows. And